When we talk about the issue of control, there's things people do to control one another's, but it's like, peeling the layers of an onion. There's a larger cultural context that is we grow up in that influences us as well. And what I'd like to suggest and talk about just for a few minutes is the issue of male and female. So there's traits and attributes that are culturally acceptable if you're male, and there's traits and attributes that are culturally acceptable if you're female. And there's some cultural mandates that if you express those of the opposite sex, that you're somehow less worthy. When we come into a 12-step program, we realize that those mandates are a form of control and that they're wrong. They're absolutely wrong. Men are moody, women are moody, men are emotional, women are emotional. We're more the same than we want to admit. Pivot to the addict. The addict is frequently having a rough time accepting who they are, whatever's going on for them internally. There's self-pity and judgment and anger and frustration, and there's just all kinds of things. Any number of things can be going on. But trust me, it's quite, if I were placing bets, there's some real issues going on around their self-esteem and self-acceptance, just like there is for us on the other side. So the beautiful thing that happens is you can just completely, it's not even like peeling back the layer of that part of the onion. You can blow it up. You can just blow up all these mandated cultural norms that are it's just a web of lies that we're born into that are useful to constrain people, and none of them fit well, and they certainly don't work well. What you see in a 12-step group is just how incredibly unique we are. And what works is when we're seen for who we really are, when we see ourselves, when we take a good look and we see ourselves for who we genuinely are, and when other people acknowledge and see us for who we are. That's tremendously healing and empowering. It's a beautiful thing. So I just wanted to put that subject matter on the table. It doesn't necessarily relate to the, the passage. May 22nd. I used to think that if I ever looked carefully at myself, my secret fears would be confirmed. I'd see that I am hopelessly flawed and unworthy. Al-Anon has shown me that if I face the effects of addiction by working the steps, this belief will fade away. I'll see the truth that I've avoided is my own inner beauty. I am powerless to change the fact that addiction has affected my life. Only a power greater than myself can overcome the effects of this disease. I call upon that power for help with the second and third steps. These steps help me to trust that although the ground on which I stand may quiver, I will not fall, for I am held firmly by one whose will is not so easily overturned. Regardless of how shaky I may feel, I am safe. Such a spiritual foundation makes a truly searching and fearless moral inventory possible. Only when I risk taking a close look at myself can my fears give way to the truth. As a child of God, I am all I need to be: loving, lovable, and splendid. Let me just read that again. Only when I risk taking a close look at myself can my fears give way to the truth. As a child of God, I am all I need to be: loving, lovable, and splendid. Today's reminder. Today, I will take some time to strengthen my relationship with my higher power. This will bring me closer to seeing the truth as my ally and recognizing my own inner loveliness. Here's the quote. I now choose to rise above my personality problems to recognize the magnificence of my being. I am totally willing to learn to love myself. Louise L. Hay. So again, there's lots of external voices that try to constrain and control us. And then there's people around us, our biological family, our, coworkers, our boss, or whatever. And you've got to see past that and see who you are and see and gain access to true wisdom, to a higher power, and to realize you're not trapped. No one is. Blessings on your day. I pray you walk in self-love and God's abundant love in peace.